just like turn it on at a random time.
I mean, it works.
That's hey, we're live now.
There we go.
Right as a few seconds ago.
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly. All right.
So
good to be back with you guys, and we'll have our audience in a minute. I think it shows up automatically on my Twitter, right, Josh?
Yeah,
it does.
It's got
Does it show
Twitter.
Up on my LinkedIn too.
No, we have it to the Visa Law LinkedIn.
Oh, we got to get it on my LinkedIn. All right.
That's
on the to-do list.
All right, yeah, we can definitely do that. I think we can only do one at a time. I think
you can only do one social account per live stream. So
I bet you my LinkedIn probably is the one.
That's probably
will have the biggest audience.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. What do we got to talk about?
That's a great question.
Josh and I were actually just talking about some things.
Yeah, no,
we want to show.
We definitely had some highlights. These Tuesday calls are meant to be a little bit more informal, where we talk about Gen and perhaps some other things as well happening in the AI space. But today we have several big announcements. One of them is we're going to try to spend a little time talking about our new drafting prototype. Yeah, exactly. Thumbs up, awesome. Claps.
Exactly.
Very original naming. It's called Gen Draft. It's not some clever like human name or person's name.
We could have asked the AI to come up with a better name.
Something. Yeah.
Maybe we still will.
Yeah, we'll see what it changes to.
Yeah, for whatever reason, our originality and creativity has been like sucked into other areas.
Gen was a good one.
Yeah, Gen was good.
There you go.
So that's a big
girl
one.
Name,
we like.
And then we've had one that actually had to do with what the product does.
Yeah, Gen's good. I like Gen.
yeah, it's a double. It works. Yeah. So yeah, that's a big highlight. And speaking of names, we can also discuss. I mean, sort of high level, our expanded product now. So from Gen to Sandbox, which is kind of like an evolution. Yeah, It's really big. So we can give some kudos there. So yeah, I think those are some high points, and then we have all the more specific stuff, use cases we can talk about. I think, Greg, you had mentioned a specific use case you tried out.
A very cool one that I found yesterday.
And then time for Q&A if anyone has any questions, and also, I mean, I can share all the sort of like boring product updates. Maybe some people
on the draft, Josh, on the drafting, you want to talk about what early types of documents and things will be drafted, like as far as
absolutely. We're actually going to do a tutorial or can do a little walkthrough video of the O1. Well, I'll sort of step back. It's not just the O1. We actually have the O1 process and the EV1 process completed in our in the draft tool already, and plan to have the NIW and I601A completed by summer, which will be the AILA annual conference in June.
That also includes all the support letters and stuff too, as well for all those, right, and references and whatnot.
Yeah, and technically you can generate some support letters already in Gen, but what we're doing in the drafting tool is creating the ability to create longer support letters. So that's one of the challenges we're facing right now with a single prompt interface is some limitations in terms of, say you want a 3 or 4 page support letter as an output. That's a little challenging right now in Gen as it is today, but with our multi-prompt structure and draft, we were able to really easily do some of those things. But I won't bore you with all those details. I guess we could just dive in, Greg, with the video if you want. I can share my screen. And we can just go ahead.
We'll provide the narration of what you're going to see.
Here we go.
It's also sped up, which is important because when we talk about timing and like how much time it takes to go through this and all that, we'll talk a little bit about what to expect and how much time you'll save.
There you go.
All right.
I'm gonna make this screen.
Yeah. I'll say, that'll work. We can also move us out of here if we want to.
Yeah, let's move us out and we'll just talk over it.
There we go.
All right. So remember, this is in beta on there, so it's not all pretty yet. But it's this is an 01 drafting product, and it's going to do different steps of the 01 process. So you can like pick up where you left, and it's important. You don't have to do it all at one time. You can kind of pick it up in the middle of a project on there.
We actually have the capability.
Go ahead, Josh. Nope, I think we lost Josh.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
a little delayed again.
All right, so this is we're doing a trapeze artist 01 in this demo. So it's doing there's a couple of functionalities. One is that this tool will help you with drafting the support letters, but also the big enchilada is the petition letter, the cover letter, essentially that 15 to 20 page document that you will typically include with an 01, and that's kind of like the big thing. But the reference letters, support letters, are helpful also. So right now it's I think and we muted Emily, so we're talking over this. She's kind of explaining what each thing does, but we're starting with the drafting and the support letter. If the firm has a template of what it likes to use, structure wise for a support letter, it can do that. Otherwise, Josh, I believe we have sort of a default template, right?
I was gonna say, yeah, I think there is a default, like a cookie cutter
That's
one
correct.
that's just set up. I'll answer. I'll answer just because I know he's slow and I'll probably a little delayed here. So.
All right. So, and Josh, I think you've sped it up, so that hopefully. But anyway, Mario is here. We go. Here's Mario's letter writer, and circus artist is the field. And then. Let's see what happens next. So it's doing the loading. Again, you have certain parts to the support letter that you can that you need to give background information on the person that's writing it. So you might have a resume of the person. You could fill out a little form if you want to give it a little information if you want, but it's got to have a little context. But basically, here's the support letter text that it will do based on those things that you're providing. And again, it's it should follow basically the law firm style for that. So that's the support letter part of it, which obviously is critical, is a critical document that you're going to be including in drafting the big petition letter. But that's something that people requested that when we were working on this, that we would have that capability. So we're going back into the options, and now we're going to be uploading the support documents that we're going to be including with the case. So this is going to include the kind of stuff that you would be typically thinking of: resumes, articles about the person, all this stuff that you're going to be gathering. Including the support letters that you've done, the little emojis Emily's put in there. I guess those are sort of like, she says they're for entertainment purposes, but I think there is actually a technical reason they're there as sort of as space holders to mark out different steps in the process when we've been building this thing out. So we're going back into this existing project. Now we are reviewing all the letters, all the supporting documents that were just uploaded so far. There will be more that will come later. And you can change the order of the way things are going to be in there, because this is essentially, you're building out your exhibit list. And this is going to eventually determine what in the exhibit list that's going to be built at the end of the petition letter, what the order is on the exhibit list. So that is that's what Emily is working on right now. And then I guess Josh is keeping it moving here. And now we're going to move into the drafting of the cover letter. Josh, hang on, what are you doing? Okay. All right. So now we have the exhibits all listed. Oh, I see what you. Okay, so Josh has jumped ahead some on here, but basically we're going back into this existing project. We're going to pick option 4 now, which is the drafting of the cover letter, and then this is the part that I think is the most interesting. So first, you're going to pick your evidence categories that you're going to be using in the case, and then there we go. Now you're slowing it down on us. Okay, so these should look familiar to lawyers that work on 01 cases. Obviously, these are the various evidence categories. Presumably, you know that you're going to have at least 3. More is better. And we're going to show apparently quite a few of them in this. You can, again, use your own template, or you can use the template, the structure that we have for in default. But the nice thing is if you have a style that you prefer as far as the way your 01 letters end up looking, you can use that. And this is for the template purpose as well. So if you don't want to upload the template, or you only want to upload parts of it, you always have this choice to paste in rather than uploading a document on there. So it's a choice for the user. I think honestly it's a lot easier just to upload a document, but that's something that the user has the choice. Okay, so we're moving on, and now we have a form that is pulled out information on the documents that have already been uploaded. So it's more to review on here. So I was able to see countries and other things, and it's so this is all set up, and it's just a matter of reviewing it and completing it. Now we hit continue. We gonna get to some more interesting things that are going to happen before the output at the end, but you're not quite done as far as the process. Now you're going to get, these are behind the scenes. What's happening is that there's a series of prompts that are interacting with the data that's already been uploaded, and it's producing these sections of a document one at a time, where you're updating. I mean, you're reviewing it. You see the tabs already showing the exhibits that it's referring to in there, and then you're going to any changes that you make. It's best backward and forward looking, so it'll make changes to stuff that you've already edited, as well as to stuff that's coming up. And you don't have to remember to go back into each section and fix something if it made if it did something that you didn't like. But you'll see the output in just a second. I don't know what Emily was narrating at that point, but it's coming. I see Josh moving it along. There we go on there. So there's like 8 sections, I think. And also don't forget, we chose a lot of different evidence categories. So it is, it's just moved through all of them. I guess, Josh, you kind of jumped through some of them, but now we're at the actual output. And do a pause for a second there. I guess you did on there. I mean, the document itself, I mean, it's fairly amazing that AI can even do this, but it is it is a template that is, it will have a look and feel of of the 01 letters that you're drafting, and the tone itself is going to be, the same kind of tone that you would be using these letters. But it's basically put all of that stuff together. Now, from a timing perspective, I think Emily said that the overall time it took to go through this exercise for her was about 40 minutes or so on there. So that is in comparison to, I don't know, 10, 15 hours that somebody might spend on a project like this. It's, obviously the time savings are fairly amazing on here, but it is it's a first draft. Keep that in mind on here, but it's a pretty good first draft. And you see the tabs and are included in there, and then at the end you'll see that the exhibits are all laid out based on what you had uploaded and based on the order that you told it to go in. But this is this is something that is the approach that we're taking on a lot of different processes. we will be debuting this at the ALA annual meeting coming up in 2 months as well. Not even 2 months now, about 6 weeks. And then we also have EB1s and I-601As and national interest waivers on the first batch of these that are coming out. So that's pretty much it, Josh on this product. But I thought it was good that we could show a little bit about this today, because we're talking a lot about drafting products, and I think people after they see a video like this, they'll have a better idea of what we're talking about.
No, that's great.
All right, want to take us off screen share?
Yeah, let's get everyone back up here. All right. Oop, that's just me. There we go.
There we go.
Hey guys, I have my phone on, so hopefully you can hear me now.
Oh, see you twice.
Yeah,
There
sorry,
you
it's my Wi-Fi. Reliable as
We've
ever.
had fiber issues at the old Siskin Susser headquarters. That's being resolved soon. Jason and I tend to work remotely most days, so we don't have the same problem that Josh has right now.
Yep.
Okay, so that's thing number one that we were talking about, Josh Waddell. We were also going to talk a little bit about Sandbox. You want to talk about that, or do you want to talk about other things?
So Josh's phone rolled off again.
Yeah, I know.
So
I would say
maybe-
Sandbox is probably a good place to, just to talk a little bit about it.
You
Great.
sir.
Drive Sandbox, or
You want to do a screen share and show what Sandbox is, and we can talk about that?
Can you guys hear me okay?
yeah.
There you go.
I don't know who's got the screen share capabilities.
Yeah, I was gonna say anyone can, I think, but
I don't have it set up on this computer, Josh. Do you have? Do you want to upload Sandbox, Josh Waddell?
I don't think my internet's going to allow me. I mean, I might try another screen share, but we can see.
We can talk through it. We can describe it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So Sandbox is our next platform. We have this AI platform that we built Jen on top of as an immigration product, but we have also been working on a more general product that is aimed at lawyers, outside of immigration law. So it has a lot of the same functionality. It also will have in its library, and we will be incorporating this into Gen also, but it will be separately in Sandbox, where we will have a library that will have a very substantial case law library of federal and state case law, as well as federal and state statutes and regulations, an ethics library, and a practice management library for now. And hopefully we'll have other things later. The other things that we're thinking, that we're planning on are some premium libraries for things that with publishers of content that will be potentially a user can subscribe to them separately if they are not if they don't want that in the base level product. A new feature that we're going to have both in Gen and in Sandbox is Firm Library. And the Firm Library, as opposed to the Law Library, is basically content that a firm wants to have that push across to its own lawyers that are not going to everybody else, at the other firms. It's basically your own research or your own content, your own templates, everything like that. That's different than Document Q&A, which is an individual lawyer's own materials on there. So if a firm had a lot of materials of its own in its forms bank or in its internal research libraries, basically it's firm knowledge management. And that's something that we've gotten that request before for firms that want to upload their whole set of materials or all their research, all their templates and everything like that, and have that accessible across an entire firm so that lawyers and paralegals in that firm can use that material as they want for doing analysis or doing drafting or whatever they're going to be using the AI tool for. versus right now where a lawyer has to go and basically track that particular document and load it into their personal document Q&A section. So think of it as document Q&A, but for an entire law firm together, as opposed to the individual experience that we currently are offering.
I think a general or other law practices may upload, 100 leases or wills or motions that were drafted within their firm, and then based on that data set, that repository of the firm's documents, they'll be able to chat with those documents, so to speak, ask for drafting, ask questions of those documents, and
we should also shortly have the capability of having firm prompts as well. That will be in addition to the system prompts that the prompts that Sandbox is providing to all their customers. If firms have sort of their secret sauce prompts that they want, and they want it to have it across, and that it's available in the firm library, they'll be able to do that, as well as using them in the in the individual document Q&A. But the idea is firms can the idea is to encourage collaboration within a firm, to be able to use documents across the board, prompts across the board, and that's what's coming with Sandbox, which is we're just starting beta for this with our we're very happy to start finally getting this product to the point where we're now able to start testing it. But the idea is that Gen has been a really good place for us to start. It's a subject that we know better than anything, because of all the years of immigration law experience that we have. But it's certainly, I think, been a good use case to help us build out this broader product, because we knew exactly what we wanted in the immigration space and seen how it worked, and a lot of that is perfectly applicable to other practice areas. So look for more information on Sandbox soon. If you are interested in a beta account, reach out to Josh Sinnott, who I think is collecting information, and that should be available to hopefully short order. Anything else you guys want to mention about Sandbox? We haven't decided yet on the price, so that's one thing we can't answer yet. But we're going to obviously want to get a lot of feedback from our beta testers. So if you are interested in seeing how a product like this looks and giving thoughts to help us make that rollout go smoothly, we'd appreciate it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and same thing applies with drafting too, of any current Gen users if they're interested in.
So drafting is limited to the draft testing. I think is limited right now to
current Gen
users and on there, as far as any new people that are coming in to test that product out, and that's going to So draft will be available in Gen. It will and will presumably there will be an availability outside of Gen that we're discussing how that's going to look too.
Cool. Yeah.
All right. What do we have next? Or
I think
talk about the cool prompt that I just figured out.
I was gonna say, if you
think that's worthy of the StreamYard, the thing I just showed you.
Yeah, I think so. Can you guys hear me now? Maybe
you're good. Yeah, you're good.
All right, let me show. Well, I can show slide. Well, let me show the screen share for a second. And I'm going to show. Does it only show a window? I want to show the two PowerPoint slides, because I think it's just a little bit easier. So let me do window.
Yeah, and while we're working on that, I can talk about a few updates in the product just really quickly. So with Gen, we're really focused on the drafting tool. That's where we're spending a ton of our development time and energy. We're really interested in adding additional content. We will have our curator and several interns working this summer. We're currently doing large scrapes of government sites. So this is a new effort. We've been pulling specific data off government sites, but not sort of scraping government sites in their entirety. That's something that's actually currently in progress. We plan to also release quick prompts in our next major sort of feature release in Gen. And I guess the best way I can describe that is sort of like a way to streamline multiple prompts. Like it's sort of like almost think of like an automation tool for prompts where you're not having to, for current Gen users, it'll make sense. You have to sort of select the file, select the prompt. So all of this will be really streamlined now. And I think that those are really the high points. Also, we'll be releasing some additional use case videos for Gen. I know we've been promising that for some time, but we do have a slate of new videos that will be coming out hopefully in the next week. So
I was thinking of even using these as a good place for the use cases to show kind of those as an example of, even
Josh sent it. Is my screen showing or no?
Yes, you're up, but it's just,
You see a slide? It says
no, we have it's our it's just a blank of us right now on the
boo. Okay. All right, I'm not sure how I get that part to work. I have a slide deck that I was going to show 2 slides from this thing. Hold on a second. Why is it?
Because right now it's just us. So yeah, I was waiting. I was like, once he pulls the slide deck up, I'll throw it up there.
All right. Well, hold on. Let me do stop and I'll try it again. Sorry.
Okay.
Stop sharing. Present.
We're still figuring these out.
Share screen.
It's a once a week thing.
It's easy as with 2 monitors. Well, okay.
Yeah.
On here, window. Clicked on it. Now you should see. And then I should see in a second. Oh, yeah. All right. So we don't want that, but this is what we do want. Now, do you see it?
We see your web. We can only see your web browser.
Yeah.
So it would have to be pulled up in the browser itself, I believe.
Oh, all right. Never mind. Hang on a second.
Good to know. Good to know for future. I think there is a StreamYard local download you can make to your computer so that StreamYard actually can use your entire desktop machine.
All right, All right, keep talking. I'm gonna see if I can get.
Yeah, it's okay. We can definitely do it next time. I do think one of our big objectives from now until the ALA conference this summer for Gen users specifically is to build out again this idea of use case, not just videos but use cases in general. So we're gonna be looking for ways, whether it's in the context of some type of community for current users or a way just to allow for further feedback in the product. We're looking for just to understand better how people are interacting with the product right now as we continue to build out more features. So if you're a current Gen user, we're not going to bombard you with emails or anything like that, but at least in the product, we'll try to create some interesting ways, maybe more creatively to kind of interact with our users to get feedback. Because we are, again, I think we're just trying to bridge the gap from this idea of having these like major AI tool sets to these very specialized, actionable sort of tasks you can run inside of Gen as an immigration professional.
I just put it in in a browser window. So can I try it again?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, one more time. Third time's the charm.
Try it again. All right. PowerPoint. Okay.
And I think the other thing too, Josh, we had even talked about trying to make Gen, and you'd mentioned making it. There we go.
See it?
Yep, we got it.
Yay! Okay. So this is like my favorite thing I've discovered in the last 24 hours. So I tell the prompt. I did this in private GPT, and basically, mind map is sort of, you'll see in a second, but it's a pretty interesting way to kind of like come up with it's really good for presentations when you're kind of trying to lay out a subject or kind of also work through the different facets of an issue. So it's a pretty simple prompt. You just say create a mind map of, and then just tell whatever topic that you want in between where the quotes are. List topics, essential ideas, main branches, and sub branches. And then the second one is after it does that, then the second part of the conversation is now create the mind map in Markdown format. Actually, mind map doesn't need to be capitalized, so I'll have to fix that. Then you take that, you paste that into this program that I have listed here called MarkMap, and basically you just paste it in, and it's pretty easy. And then this is what the sample was AI for small law firms. That's all I put in the quotes. And it was eventually, I mean, it took like 5 minutes for this whole thing, but this is what it was able to generate in the end, which I thought was pretty awesome. You could do that kind of thing from within a chat window, a chat GPT or a private GPT window. So it's a really, I think, a good way to kind of explore subjects and kind of see them laid out on there, especially they're ones that have a lot of complexity. But I wanted to show that. And that was it. I'll stop sharing.
That's still really cool, though, especially having it laid out where it can show, the multi-branching with the maps like that. So no, that's awesome. It's always good to see, and showing people how we can use it as well. I think is another good way of like, hey, just take the text and you can make it into one of these maps. And
yeah, well, it was the thing I liked about it was, I mean, it wasn't a plug. I don't know if there's a plugin for ChatGPT or a plugin but that software, that MarkMap, was free.
Oh, cool.
For me to do that, and I didn't have to even create an account or anything. It just went in and pasted it in on their site, and it was able to produce that. So anyway, I didn't know about that product, that site either, until somebody told me about it. So anyway, that was another way that you can kind of use it for internal process management, but you could potentially use it in immigration law or in other areas of law to help you kind of map out all the aspects of a different kind of process.
Great. Sweet.
That was it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know if we have anything else that Josh, do you have anything else?
I talked about sort of high level how it's going with the product, things they're working on. If anybody has any questions, obviously on the live stream, they can always ask them there. We're happy to answer them. We won't have anything this Thursday in terms of webinar. That's just a monthly webinar series. One request we've had recently on our next webinar is to talk about AI policies for law firms. So I think that might be a really good topic to discuss at our next webinar. I know like basically every firm that starts reaching out to us asking about Gen, inevitably at some point starts asking about like, how do I communicate to my clients that, I'm currently using AI. So we can share experiences of maybe some of the law firms we've been working with Gen. And, again, not just, obviously Gen is we think it's a great tool for immigration lawyers. There's a ton of other AI tools that we're using every day that utilize generative AI. So obviously that will be important for a lot of law firms as we move forward. But yeah, I think we've said it all. It was a quick one today. And I think the next time will be, fingers crossed, we'll eliminate a lot of the technical stuff. But anyway, thank you all for joining. I don't have anything else. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone.
Bye, buddy.